Hello and welcome to the All Rookie Podcast. Today is June 30th, 2025, and I'm your host, William Harris, aka William is Bill. Glad to be back with you today on another great episode of the All Rookie Podcast. The draft is over, but let's talk about some of those guys that did not get drafted that I felt should have or were just right on the precipice of being drafted. So, the best undrafted players in the 2025 NBA draft coming up right about now. Let's get straight to it like it's nothing to it. All right, so this draft was full of talent. There were at least 70 players that should have been drafted, but you could say 75 to 80 if you want to push it, because some players were drafting stashes, some were just complete reaches. It was all over the place. But I would say at least 70 players needed to be drafted. And obviously we had 59 because one team lost its rights, the Knicks. But and some of those guys were not drafted. So let's get straight to it. Like I said, my number one undrafted player was I had ranked 38th, Adama Ball, the 6'6" guard from Santa Clara. And he is from France, but he played at Santa Clara, averaged 13 points per game, 37% from three. Very fast, tall, athletic guard. Um, really good feel for the game, shifty, very talented, and I think he could be even better in the future. Unfortunately, he is going to stay in France. He signed a contract in France. Hopefully, that's 1 year, and he can come back to the NBA next year. I think he should have been drafted. He should definitely be on an NBA team. I don't know if he just chose that by choice because he signed with the France team before the draft happened. So I don't know, but keep an eye out for Adama Ball, super talented young player. Next, we have Jackson Robinson, another mystery because he was my 39th ranked prospect. He could have came out in the draft last year, 6'7" from Kentucky, fifth year senior, averaged 13 points, 38% from three. Very smooth player, great size, soft touch in the paint, can bring the ball up the court like a point guard, can pull up from three or create his own shot. Great prospect. Like I said, 39. He is one of the few players that are still unsigned. He could be signed as I'm speaking right now. I don't know, but I have a list. It's like 30 players, and only like three or four are unsigned, and he's one of them. It makes no sense to me. But look out for Jackson Robinson from Kentucky. He should be in somebody's summer league, and if he gets minutes, he's gonna prove why he should have been drafted. Next, I have Vladislav Golden. He is my 40th ranked prospect. He's from Michigan, 7'1", Russian, big man, average almost 17 and 7. And he's a good three-point shooter at 33%. He can move, like quick moves when he gets to the rim. Doesn't hesitate much. He just goes to the basket. One of the best running bigs in the draft. I mean, he truly moves amazing. He's 24 years old. If he was 19, I think he would have been drafted for sure. But he did sign a two-way contract with the Miami Heat as Vladislav Golden. And maybe in a year or two, he will get an opportunity because Vladislav should have been drafted in this class. Next on the list, number 42, Caleb Love from Arizona. He signed a two-way contract with Portland. 6'4" guard, fifth year senior, average 17 and 4, 34% from three. I've seen people say, how did he not get drafted? And I've seen people say, of course he didn't get drafted. He's not good. Let me tell you something. Caleb Love is a really excellent point guard. There's no reason he should not have been drafted. Pro ready. He moves like a pro. Good shooting form. Plays a pro style. Great with the alley-oop passes. And in general, good passer, great vision. Uh, Quick hands on defense. And he's a score first point guard. So a lot of teams in the NBA don't like score first point guards unless you're elite. So if they don't think you're a lottery guy, they don't like score first point guards. But he has the size at 6'4", good shot, great attacking, definitely worth drafting. That's why I had him 42nd. He went undrafted. But if he gets an opportunity in Portland, especially if Drew Holiday just doesn't show up or gets traded, look out for Caleb Love. Maybe he'll get an opportunity. He should. He should. 43 on my 43rd ranked player was Igor Milicic. He went undrafted. 76ers signed him to an Exhibit 10 contract. That's basically just we're gonna give you a tryout. But Igor Milicic, 6'10 from Tennessee. I'm really, really impressed with this player. 10.7 boards, solid 3-point shooter. He can blow by his man on the perimeter, very athletic, and this is at 6'10. He can fly, dunk, maneuver his way to the rim. Excellent passer, good shooter. No reason Igor Milicic should not have been drafted. And there's no reason why he shouldn't be on two-way either. I don't know who his agent is, but Igor is an amazing talent. I don't know. Some international players get bumped up because they played in a different country. And as those same international players played in college in America, it's like they get downgraded because of it. So like if Igor stayed overseas and played and people saw his film, I think he would have been a first round pick. But because he's a senior in Tennessee, they basically look at him as an American and it's like a negative, I guess. I don't know. But look out for Igor Milicic. Definitely should have been drafted. Next on my list, Matthew Cleveland. The Mavs have signed him to an undrafted free agent contract. Um, and I mean, they're naming things a lot of different ways, like Exhibit 10, undrafted free agent contract, summer league contract. I don't know why they're naming these things so many different ways, but those are all similar. You basically getting a tryout. Um, the main one that's going to allow you to see the court is the two-way contracts, because that means you're going to play in the lower league system, the G League, and be moved up and down to the actual NBA team. The other contracts, you really gonna have to work if you only have an Exhibit 10 or a two or a summer league contract or an undrafted free agent contract. I don't need these are new. Normally it's just an Exhibit 10 or a two-way. So they're adding wrinkles to the system. But Matthew Cleveland, my 45th ranked prospect, 6'7" from Miami, senior, over 17 points, 4 boards, 1 steal, 1 block, 38% from three. How is he not drafted? He's a good player all around, can blow by you at the rim, good handles, good 3-point shooter, great hops, and especially if he gets a step on you. He even has a floater. I mean, he's just a really good player, deserves to be drafted. He can do everything well. So why was Matthew Cleveland not drafted? He does have an undrafted free agent contract with the Mavs. We will see where that takes him. You know, the Mavs are missing Kyrie for a lot of the season, but still, this is a 6'7" forward. I mean, I just think he deserves a shot. They lost Quentin Grimes. We'll see, though. It's a long season. My 46th ranked player, John Polakidis. I'm getting better at that, y'all. But he signed a summer league contract with the Clippers. 6'5" guard from Yale. Incredible player. One of the best tapes I've saw. But he went to Yale, so he gets knocked for that. But over 19 points per game, 41% from three. I think he's the best shooter in the class. Tremendous 3-point shooter, can shoot in any situation as well, not just one way. Step back, spot up, off the dribble, any circumstance, he can light it up. He knows how to use his body to create space as well, so he's not just a shooter either. So John Polakidis, let him get some minutes on the Clippers. He's gonna show you something, even in summer league, whatever. You're gonna see something. Somebody ought to see something in John Polakidis that will get him on the court. Number 40. Nine on my list, Lamont Butler, the 6'2" guard from Kentucky, signed a two-way contract with the Hawks. And like I said, two ways are good. That's what you want. Um, Played 4 years at San Diego State, and he was even better at Kentucky in his fifth year. Lightning fast, quick step, plays under control, excellent 3-point shooter at 39%, pro-ready point guard with a great handle. Lamont Butler should have been drafted, my 49th player, but two-way with the Hawks. My 50th ranked prospect, Caleb Grill from Missouri, signed an Exhibit 10 with the Bulls. Very athletic point guard, can shoot it off the dribble or spotting up. Uh, he's 25 years old. That's what hurt him. That's probably why he wasn't drafted. But he deserves a chance. He does everything well. He's perfect for today's game. Caleb Grill is with the Bulls. Now we have Grant Nelson, my 52nd ranked player. Signed an Exhibit 10 with the Bulls, the forward from Alabama, fifth-year senior, 12 points per game, 26% from three. He really was outstanding when he was at Dakota State. His number dropped off a little bit at Alabama, but it also was a winning situation, so it wasn't just all about him. So, in my opinion, he still did enough to be drafted, and I think he could do more in a different system. Good shot blocker can move well, athletic. They called him a unicorn when he was at North Dakota State. And he definitely has enough skill to get minutes in the NBA, especially if he can get that three-pointer improved. But Grant Nelson, he's on the Nets, one of the worst rosters in the NBA. So there's a chance he can see the floor. We'll see. Next, Curtis Jones, a 6'5" guard from Iowa State. Should have been drafted, but he is really skinny. So I could see why he wasn't drafted, but he signed an Exhibit 10 with the Nuggets. Other than his super skinniness, he should have been drafted. I mean, 37% from three, super deep range, can dribble up the court, very skilled, can get his own shot. He just needs to bulk up. But Curtis Jones to the Nuggets, Darson Garcia, 6'11" big man from Minnesota, signed an Exhibit 10 with the Pistons. And I mean, I think he ought to get a shot in there. They need a big man. They only have Jalen Duren. Isaiah Stewart is, not there mentally all the time. But Dawson Garcia had multiple 30-point games this year. Can put the ball on the floor and drive to the rack. Can shoot the three very well. Moves like a small forward at times, being 6'11". Good rebounder. He plays like a forward. But I don't know if he can play center exactly, but his defensive presence um, is not of a normal 6'11" guy, but offensively he can do some things and play right now in the NBA. And I think the Pistons could use that. But like I said, Dawson Garcia is on a Exhibit 10, so it might take a lot for him to see the court, but we'll see. 58. We're on number 58. All right, we got my guy, Coleman Hawkins, the 6'10" big man from Kansas State. Um, he was at Illinois the other 4 years, but Coleman Hawkins signed a summer league contract with the Warriors. That's really disappointing that he should not, like, he should have a two-way for sure. But 6'10", forward, plays like Aaron Gordon, can dribble it up the court, can shoot the three, can drive to the basket, moves well on offense, great vision. I don't know what the issue was with the NBA not seeing it out of Coleman Hawkins, but Warrior Summer League. And I'm telling you, Summer League is going to be fun. There's so much talent that is going to be in this Summer League. I'm telling you. Next on my list, Hunter Salas signed as two-way for the 76ers. Really good guard from Wake Forest. Has a nice floater, makes some big-time shots. He's a little skinny, but goes into traffic to try to score, but he will have a tough time doing that because he is slight of frame. And the main thing is he was the man at Wake Forest, and we know he's not going to be the man in the NBA. So what role will he play? He shot 28% from three. That's probably why he didn't get drafted, but he has NBA talent. Number 60, Arthur Kaluma, signed with the Lakers, an Exhibit 10 contract, 6'7" from Texas. It's ironic Dorian Finney-Smith is not signing his contract. I really think Kaluma could come in being a senior uh, and fill that role, because he plays like a Torian Prince type of role, and he does all the dirty work, and he's a good shooter, 36% from three. So Arthur Kaluma could help the Lakers, depending on the roster, to fill a role. So, but like I said, he is on a Exhibit 10, so that's going to be tough. Now, Caden Shedrick, my guy, the big from Texas, 6'11", but really skinny, um, signed a summer league contract with the Cavs. Good shot blocking big. He's more like a rim running shot blocker. But he did shoot 35% from three. He is a little on the slight side. Like I said, he's 216. He looks skinny out there, but he's a draftable prospect. I really wanted him to be in my top 60, but I had him at 61. But Caden Shedrick he's very skilled and deserves a shot in the NBA. So we will see what happens with the Cavs Summer League team. 64 on my list was 64th ranked prospect Cliff Omarui, big from Alabama, signing Exhibit 10 with the Raptors. And they needed a big, so they could have stumbled upon someone that can get minutes for their team. Everyone was surprised they didn't take Colin Malowacz at pick 9. They went for Colin Murray Boyles, and they were like, "Hey, y'all were supposed to get Colin Malowacz." They could possibly think they have a type of big that they can use in the same type of way that can develop behind Pirtle and Cliff Omarui because he's a lob threat, pick and roll finisher, shot blocker, moves his feet well on defense, and and a foreign center. We'll see what happens. 65, Eli John and Jaye signed a two-way contract with the Hawks. That's big because I was high on him. I hadn't heard anyone else talk about him. But to me, he reminds me of a forward that's on the same trajectory as Pascal Siakam. He plays like him, but super raw. And I'm talking about Siakam when he went undrafted, and had to be in the G League. That's the type of prospect I see in Jaye. Like in 3 years, he could be someone that turns into a player like Pascal Siakam. So that's a guy to keep your eye out on. But he could be already ahead of the curve, signing a two-way already. Next, we have Eric Dixon, signed a two-way contract with the Lakers. He is from Villanova, 6'9". He plays like a wrecking ball a little bit, finishes wild and unpretty. But he's a good three-point shooter, can dribble it. Plays like Kenny Lofton, if you remember, like an undersized big, but he's not undersized at 6'9". But that's just how he comes across because he's not jumping over anyone and playing above the rim like that. But 40% from three, nice size in height and weight. And now we mentioned earlier Arthur Kaluma. So if you're looking for a power forward for the Lakers, Eric Dixon could possibly find some minutes. My 68th ranked prospect, Peyton Sanford, signed with the Thunder on an Exhibit 10 contract. Great shooter. I compare him to Sam Hauser. Slightly not as good shooter as Sam Hauser, but we know how effective that role can be. So OKC found a sniper. He's just going to have to knock down shots, and he could be effective for them. We'll see. Number 70 on my list as far as rankings, Dink Pate signed an Exhibit 10 with the Knicks. He has an NBA body and type. So I think he will make it. A lot of people were high on him, but he did not have a great season at Mexico City. But he played in the G League Ignite before that. He's 19 years old, 6'7", 200 pounds, like typical arm length, body style, speed, height that everyone is looking for the 3-and-D type of player. He just got to get his shot a little better and keep developing. He'll be in the G League lighting it up, I'm sure. That was Ding Pate. 72nd ranked player, Tamar Bates, signed a two-way with the Nuggets. Very good for him. Mid-range killer, old school type of game, but 40% from three. So we'll see if he can see the floor for the Nuggets. Kobe Johnson, 75th ranked player, signed an Exhibit 10 with the Hawks. He can move very well, 36% from three, can score for himself, but it seemed like he could have done more and played more of a team player type of role. So he was just a solid rogue player, shooting guard for me. So I can see why Kobe didn't get drafted, Kobe Johnson, that is. But he has a chance with the Hawks. Not really, but they're going to give him, you know what I mean. It's not, okay. Next on my list, Jaden Akins, guard from Michigan State. I really like this game. He's 6'4", but plays like he's smaller than that. But he's super fast and shifty, but he's kind of a one-on-one type of player. And the NBA, like I said, does not like that. That's why Caleb Love didn't get drafted. But, I mean, like, we took it back to the 90s. Caleb Love, Jaden Akins are getting drafted in the NBA. I think they're going to have to, these type of players are going to have to show they can do something else elite. And Caleb Love was very good at three-point shooting, but Jaden Akins was 29%. So you knew he wasn't going to get drafted, unfortunately. But He did a great job. He did a great job. Uh, well worth being on the borderline of being drafted. All right, I got a couple more honorable mentions. Sean Padula signed a Portland Trailblazers Exhibit 10 contract. Nice little point guard. He is small, but great shooter. Plays a little slow, but I think he can have an opportunity at some point. Bryce Williams with Nebraska, 24 years old, great three-point shooter. His whole 5-year career, old school type of game, but Bryce Williams has signed an undrafted free agent contract with the Pistons. Remember, like I said, it's basically he's going to get a chance. He may get cut, might get moved to a different team. The two-way guys will stay with the team they're on, but everyone else is just fighting for a roster spot. RJ Lewis, a guy that was highly debated upon if he was going to return to college because he had big NIL money waiting for him. I had scouted him prior to that, and what I saw was a player that's undrafted. And then he decided to not go back to college and keep his name in the draft. And I was very surprised because I didn't see him as a top 75 player. He did not make it on to being a drafted player, but he did sign a two-way contract with the Jazz. So that is great for RJ Lewis, but he lost a lot of money staying in this draft. But if your dream is the NBA, you go for it. You don't really care about that. You get in there while you can get in there. And you never know, you can get hurt the next year and never get in the NBA. So I get it. But RJ Lewis, he won a lot of awards. Big East Player of the Year, All-American. He's a very quick twitch, athletic dunker, solid shooter, can create for himself. But overall, he's kind of a solid player that may struggle to find minutes in the NBA. And right now, that's the position he's landing himself in Utah because Utah's got a lot going on. Very young team full of prospects. All right. Julian Reese, 6'9" from Maryland. Really good power forward. Signed a undrafted free agent deal with the Lakers. Excellent rebounder, beautiful jump shot, nice hook shot, great rebounder. Played with Derek Queen and still averaged 9 boards a game. So Julian Reese, I wouldn't have been mad if he got drafted. But like I said in the scouting report, he could be drafted, but I also can see him signing as an undrafted free agent. Now, like I said, he's 6'9". If he was 7 foot, he's getting drafted. But he can be a small ball center or a solid power forward. He's going to need opportunity. And I did not know this until after he was signing his free agent contract with the Lakers. This is Julian Reese, that he is Angel Reese's brother. I didn't even realize it. I scouted him with no bias. And, he was a guy that was like in my 70s, but not normally that sounds bad. But I mean, this class is just so deep. And there's a lot of guys probably between 40 and 70 that are interchangeable because they're different positions, but they're all quality players. So we'll see what happens with Julian Reese. They signed, a couple other forwards, so it might be tough for him to get an opportunity. But he showed a lot in college that I liked, so I'm not mad at it. Izan and Manza signed a Exhibit 10 for the Sixers. 6'10" big man from Perth, but he's pretty raw. Great runner, pretty much catch and finish guy. But being with the Sixers, I think they need a player like that. So it's possible, but most guys that are undrafted are not going to see the court. I will go ahead and say that. But speaking of that, though, the one exception might be Ryan Nembhard, the 6-foot guard from Gonzaga. Now, he was good, but when you see a 6-foot guard that's not incredible at anything, just good, you think that's not a player that's getting drafted. It rarely happens, even though Ryan is a really good shooter, nice step back, great assist man, the best assist man in the class. But being 6 foot, you knew it was going to be tough. And he's 22 years old. Loved if he scored more because he averaged 10 and 10, which is great for a double-double. But it makes you an elite passer, not an elite scorer. He does have an excellent mid-range game, but that's in college. His brother, Andrew Nembhard for the Pacers, everyone wanted the Pacers to draft him. He is 4 inches taller. So if they were the same height, he would be in a much better position, but Ryan got the short end of the stick on that. Andrew got 6'4". Ryan got 6 foot. But he got a two-way contract with the Mavs. And we know Kyrie is out for at least half of the season. So it's possible he may see the floor a little bit in Indiana, especially if they need to rest TJ McConnell. Next, we have Mark Sears, 6 foot guard from Alabama. Same thing. Nembhard shot better from three. Sears was a better scorer, but Sears has a great crossover, um, good shooter. I don't like his form. It's not great, but quick at getting to the rack, very talented player. And the Bucks, we know Damian Lillard is out for the season. So Sears, will he get a shot? Kevin Porter Jr. declined his option. It's possible. We will see. And last but not least on my list is Jonell Davis, 6'4" guard from Arkansas, signed a summer league contract with the Magic. We will see if he gets an opportunity. Averaged 12 points, 33% from three. That was from Arkansas, but the previous year he was at Florida Atlantic. He averaged 18.6 boards, 3 assists, 1.5 steals. So he is a really good player, but those numbers went down on a better team. Good college player, doesn't really create that much space, doesn't finish strong. Good shooter, makes the right play, smart player, but I can see why he didn't get drafted. But he did, like I said, Summer League with the Magic. And so that's my list. A lot of good talent that did not get drafted in this class. I'm going to go over just the two-way guys real quick because those are the guys you probably will hear from. The other guys, you probably won't, unfortunately, but they're still talented because, like I said, I had some of these guys. I had like 12 of these guys that could have been drafted in my rankings in the top 60. You know what I mean? So the two-way guys, Vlad Golden, Miami, Caleb Love, Portland, Lamont Butler, the Hawks, Hunter Salas, the 76ers, Eli John Ndiaye, the Hawks, Eric Dixon, Lakers, Tamar Bates, Nuggets, RJ Lewis, the Jazz, Ryan Nembhard, the Mavs, and Mark Sears with the Bucks. All signed two-way contracts, all gonna get an opportunity to do something with them. We'll see what happens. This was a great draft, fun draft, great debates. Is there a guy that I didn't name that you think should be on this list as best undrafted players? I think I named 33 players. I mean, that's just how talented this class was. And there were some shocking picks in the actual draft that got drafted above these guys. But the draft is over, waiting for Summer League now. If there's any more news, I'll get it to you. But until then, I'm out of here. Peace. Thanks, guys.